Hey guys, it's Ryan from the Fairly Awesome Podcast, joined here by a couple of my hooligan compatriots here, and
hooligan eye.
hooligan eye, apparently the plural of
It's
hooligan.
Latin.
I have no idea what's going wrong with the intro here, but anyway, we're gathered here to talk about this article that we found on cars that are going to be flying. Now, we know back in the 1950s they were like putting wings on all the cars, you know, the giant Cadillacs and whatnot. And, you know, when they did their in the year 2000, you know, they sort of said that there would be these flying cars and, you know, hoverboards and, you know, and whatnot. And it just it really hasn't happened yet. But
That's Back
Nate,
to the Future. That's next year, right?
Yeah, it's next
but
year.
what did you find?
I found that I'm very angry. I'm mad as hell, Ryan. Why don't we have cars that fly? It's 2013. We can't teleport.
No.
All we got is Tang and some space stations. What do we got? That's nothing. We need flying cars and hoverboards. Well, there was an article I read about a company called Terrafugia, I think, which means in Latin, land and fly. I don't know why they use that name. Maybe because they want cars that fly, which is what I want. Anyway, so they've got this design for a car that has a like vertical takeoff landing. It's got two,
This is their second prototype, right?
if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Kind of look like nips when they're out there with the things all folded up. Anyways, when they're taking off and when I'm taking off, when it's cold outside, I take off.
Or cut glass.
Yes,
We're going to have to
that too.
censor the shit out of this.
I hope there's a giant black bar right here. I just wore this shirt in prep for that. But no, okay, so it's got the propellers actually fold up and go inside these little nodules, as I will refer to them in diagram A. You'll see them on there.
Oh, we've got it right here. We're totally not green screening. This TV is still working. You can see it right up in this region.
Yeah.
Sort of looks like a... almost like a Cessna.
Almost.
Sort of.
Almost,
Yeah,
a little
maybe.
bit.
And
You
I'm totally lying. We're green screening. I can't see a damn thing. All right,
So anyway, it's got these propellers basically that come out and allow it to rotate and take off.
Okay.
And then it's got a looks like a jet engine in the back. Go ahead, Josh.
This is like Terrafuga has this other car thing, right? It's already set up and they've been flying it, and it's a traditional, you know, like fixed wing aircraft.
The wings
but the
fold.
wings fold, and it can work for just driving. But then you get to an airport.
can't go
or
into a
whatever.
McDonald's or anything because it's too tall when the wings are...
I don't know.
The
I
problem,
don't know
what the problem is?
What the weight is in there.
We've seen this already. James Bond.
I know.
Yeah, man with the golden gun.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Scaramanga, the plane, use the plane car.
I remember that guy. He
Yes.
was in Fantasy Island.
He was.
So as much as this...
This is the worst short we've ever done.
Or the best short stunt.
All right, so
The kids love us.
as much as this... Jeez. As much as this is a reality, I mean, we can see the videos of this thing working, and you know, I trust that it is going to work, but this is pretty freaking niche, isn't it? I mean, we're not
Nobody
talking...
who's going to afford
It's
this?
You know who I
the
don't-
one that's with fixed wings is like I think $160,000 for the
That's
plane with
actually less than I would have guessed. I would have thought it would have been in the $500,000.
But you know who I don't
So-
trust with a vertical takeoff and landing
Stotton
vehicle
Wade.
and flying through airspace?
the man who shall
Women
not be
drivers. That's what you're going to say, isn't it? You
Oh.
sexist bastard.
Censor. All right. No, seriously, anybody that doesn't have a pilot's license.
Well, that
how
was-
in the hell is this going to work without coordinating with the FAA?
Okay, if you fly under a certain amount of feet, like 30 feet or something silly low like that, you're allowed to
I thought it was
fly,
like 100.
basically. Okay, all right, so whatever.
Yeah,
But the
whatever
point is
the-
that as long as you stay underneath the FAA
Yeah.
airspace, you're fine. Here's my issue with anything flying.
Yeah.
Crashing.
Crashing. Exactly. Okay.
I've seen this. They say parachutes. There's apparently ejection, like ejections
I don't want to
in this
eject.
thing.
Okay,
Are you
if they
kidding?
make this
Yeah.
thing
You like in
25,000
suburbia and you eject and you're fine,
No,
but
no.
your
Okay, so it's
your
not
car plane-
ejection. The ejection is a parachute. You pull like these two things, and
For the whole car.
Yeah, the whole car gets a
Okay,
parachute.
now,
okay.
now that being said,
Yeah.
they have
That's-
parachutes for small aircraft
Yes,
already. That
yes.
exists. All right, but nonetheless, you're still counting on reaction time. If everyone's out there on the road
Mm-hmm.
and something happens to your vehicle and it breaks, you still have to be able to react in time to
Right.
pull those chutes so that you don't die, that you don't crash. There's too much risk involved when you leave the ground.
Yeah,
And this is
the
why
speed's
this-
involved too. It's
this
200
is-
miles an hour.
But this is why we don't have flying cars yet. Right here is
People
because
suck.
of this fundamental problem we have. Because right now we already have, every morning you'll hear, if you turn on the radio, you'll hear the traffic update. There's been a crash somewhere.
So
Yeah.
All right, that doesn't count all the people's cars that have simply broken down somewhere that they had to pull off the side of the road or whatever. So now you make them all of a sudden 50, 100 feet up, that becomes very problematic for them and sometimes other people.
Staunton, you're crushing my Fifth Element boyhood dream.
No. But actually, Fifth Element could work.
Yeah.
Because that's not rotor based, it's not engine, it's hover. It's
like
technology we don't
repulsor
even
lift or
exactly. We don't
something,
have the
yeah.
technology yet. Now we get to that point where if you have a heart attack and die at the wheel and your car just slowly goes to the ground.
But then that's a different topic, isn't it? That's more
automated
cars, right? The Google cars, the self-navigated cars.
I think we'd be better off if we just find a way to stay on the ground but have cars that drive themselves.
Yeah.
To stay on point with this,
Yeah, because we've
flying.
been on point this whole time, man.
to stay on point.
We're like a flying car. We don't stick with the road.
Several nodules later.
All right.
Nodules.
So don't touch me with your nodules. Okay, so I'm gonna contest that this really isn't a flying car. Is that this is a plane that can go
drive on
on
the
streets?
road.
Yeah, that's street legal.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
That's really more what this is.
true. Yeah,
Yes.
I can see that. Okay.
So
There is some automated systems in this aircraft. At least that's what they say.
So-
It's supposed to be more automated. So potentially it could take off and land itself, much like our...
Okay, but that seems easy. You click a button, it moves the rotors up, lifts you up.
Right.
You click another button, and it moves into vertical forward motion.
I still am not going to
It's
feel
still not
comfortable. Like
Exactly.
let's say this does come down to a reasonable range, and you buy one and I buy one, and if our paths cross at all, you know what I mean? Like I'm just not comfortable with it until it is sort of coordinated on. You get this flight path. This is your route to work or your route to I don't know, the grocery, if that's where you're going to take this thing.
There's going to have to be designated fly lanes in
Right,
the air.
that's why we paint lanes on the road, so people aren't just like, this looks like a good route.
Yeah, because what's the best
So
the thing
luxurious.
I would do is I would get up and then I would go straight as the crow
Yeah.
flies to my office, and then I would go
Land,
down.
yeah.
And now somebody else is going to be going the opposite way, and there's no rules up there for who should be going where until you get to where the FAA tells you where you can go.
I don't know if they're necessarily telling people where to go. I mean, it depends on how they're
I've seen
flying.
that movie.
Well,
Kiefer
there-
Sutherland tells
But
them where to go.
there's air traffic
Air traffic
controllers.
Yeah, but
There's-
those controllers are controlling
Your
zones.
What?
This is the most...
Awesome.
Best short ever.
We're going to have a tangent counter.
Yeah. So anyhow,
FAA.
if they're controlling them, they're most likely for landing purposes. God damn it.
No, there's still airspace and lanes, right? I mean, because when you're flying like a 747 or something like that, you don't have
Well,
the
commercial
same kind of-
flights would be different than say like private pilot's license type things.
Okay,
So I mean, there's no direction.
you still
you're
got to have a
supposed
flight plan.
You don't have to file one.
No?
Not in a personal one.
All right. Well, I'm just going to bow out of that because I'm not really into planes enough to know how that all works. So I'll just shut my mouth before I get a whole bunch of down rating.
But your airspace is still limited to a certain extent.
I think it's more like where, certain zones have different.
Yeah,
like radius
like
things
when
that you have to like
maybe when you know
communicate
what
to
this
them.
is just we're so ignorant about this shit.
Yeah.
Nate, you started this whole topic. Tell us exactly every fact we need to know about air travel.
Every fact.
right now.
I've actually flown in a Cessna before.
Have you?
Yes.
I've been in a plane too.
Yep, that's about it.
And I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Was it lovely? How was the room service?
It was fantastic.
They leave the light on for you.
You guys and your damn nodules. All right. Well, I think we've conceded that we really know just that this is a car that takes off vertically and lands, and that Birdman is going to be the first one to own one of these and bling this bitch out.
I'm pretty sure that we established that this is not a car. This is actually a plane that
Okay.
can
Yes.
drive.
A plane
Yes.
that drives.
But it would be fairly awesome
would be-
if we could own one.
Yes.
No, it
flies
wouldn't. That's
someday.
my freaking point. Is that you're just gonna crash all over the damn place.
No.
Haven't you been listening to anything I've said?
Staunton.
Get off the nonsense.
Wait,
Dream
no,
killer.
wait. You know what would be
Dream
fairly
killer.
awesome? You know what would be fairly awesome? If Chris had one of these. Oh, but I totally safe. Totally safe. All right. Well, anyway, I think we'll just concede that there's certainly a lot more that has to be done before this is truly widespread. And I'm not even sure that I think we will see self-navigating cars before we see really a proliferation of flying cars or planes that can drive. Or
Still fairly awesome though.
it's
Yes.
still fairly awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you do want to like us, head over to facebook.com/fairlyawesomepodcast and give us the old thumbs up there, the old
Like our nodules.
and head over to Twitter for some of our other updates and whatnot. That's at FAPcast. And be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Thanks for watching, guys. He's like, and I'm done. Done.